Hey athletes, this is another episode of Checking In with Your Coach. I know it's been a little bit of time, but on today's episode, we're going to talk about what equipment you guys should and could invest in to make sure you guys are getting appropriate workouts at home. So the reason for this episode, because an episode like this wasn't even planned, we're certainly still locked down into quarantine, right? Hopefully you guys have been seeing my workouts. Hopefully you guys have been doing nutrition, things like that. This is still along the lines of training like we've been talking about in previous episodes. So what I want to talk about are just some little things you guys can invest in at home. It's not going to be too expensive, but it will enhance the workouts that you do at home because we don't know when gyms will be opening at this point. We have no set date. So it could be a week, it could be a month. Who knows? Number one is a yoga mat of some sort, okay? A mat, I personally have a really thick pleated jumping mat. It's back from the days of when I was doing Beachbody workouts and I jumped a lot. It's like a 1/4 inch thick mat. And what it's for is, again, jumping, but I like it because it's really easy to clean. You don't get all those little balls of foam that kind of rip off of a yoga mat, but it is more expensive. It's like $80 or something. But anyway, a yoga mat, $10, $12, whatever. And there's none of these I'm going to give you brands on because, to be honest, it doesn't matter. Get one. Who cares? If it frays and it only lasts 3 months, hopefully we're back to the gym in 3 months. If you want to have one that lasts and you want to spend a little bit more money, I'm sure you guys can look and find the exact one that you need. So a yoga mat. Another thing that has been pretty obviously helping people is risers. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen the old 80s step classes where there's a bunch of stackable risers, then there's this platform that goes on top. That platform would be very beneficial for you guys. For some of you, it would help your push-ups because you can be on your knees, put your hands on the platform, do your push-ups that way, makes it a little bit easier. For some of you, you can put your feet up on it, makes it a little bit harder. You do not have to buy the risers, you just have to buy that big top plastic thing. We can do runs, we can do lunges, we can put our foot elevated just a little bit to make split squats a little bit harder. If you do want to take it a little bit further, you could buy like a 12-inch plyo box, a foam box, a wood box, whatever, and that would allow you to do larger step-ups or something to that extent, split squats, whatever. Then you're not always using a chair. One step further, don't have to buy this is just me saying, a bench, okay? If you plan to do quite a few workouts at home, because I've been talking to a lot of people, and even though they're going to come back for classes, they're going to come back for personal training, they're still planning on doing a workout or two at home, maybe every week. So a bench would be very beneficial. You can do bench dips, you can do step-ups, you shouldn't jump, but you can do alternating step-ups laterally, you can do rows on it, you can do chest press. There's so many things you can do with the bench. If you have the money and you have the space, a bench is awesome. But now back to some things that I absolutely recommend. The mat being one and the step up being another. That small step. A dumbbell. One dumbbell. If you really want to keep costs low, one. Now, ladies, you may think I'm crazy by saying this number. I want you to get a 20 or a 25 pound dumbbell. Just one. Okay, if you can afford more, let's do it. In fact, if you can afford to buy a few sets of dumbbells, ladies, you probably want 20s, 25s, and 30s. It's not going to be perfect for everything, but it will be great for most exercises. So granted, one dumbbell, maybe it's heavy for your shoulder press, but we can do push presses using our legs to help us a little bit. The reason we want a little bit heavier is because all of you can row 20 pounds. Okay, you can row 20 pounds 400 times. But we have now a decent weight for dumbbell snatches, dumbbell cleans. We can do our push presses. Our rows, we can go super slow if we need to. We've got goblets. We've got, for lunges, for squats. We could do thrusters with them. We can do lying down chest presses on our stability ball, and the 20 pounds can actually become hard. One dumbbell, 20 pounds, maybe 25. Some of my rock stars can certainly get away with a 30, but again, that makes it tough to go overhead. If you can buy multiple sets, 20, 25, 30, and 35s if you got the money. Gentlemen, 30 pounds should be the minimum. Again, It may be a little tough for you to press over your head. We can use our legs for that. But there are so many exercises that anything less than 30 pounds is not going to be very beneficial. Rows, less than 30 pounds, when you're 200 pounds, that's nothing, okay? Even if you're trying to lose weight. So, gentlemen, at least 30 pounds, but you could go 30, 35, and then make a big jump to 45, okay? You don't necessarily need 40s if you have 30, 35, and then a set of 45s. Now, same goes for kettlebells. If you say, okay, I'm going to buy one dumbbell and I'm going to buy one kettlebell. So ladies, maybe you'd buy that one 20-pound dumbbell. But then maybe your kettlebell would be 30, okay? Because for anything you need to goblet, you can always use your 20. And then once you get more comfortable, you can jump to that 30-pounder. And that 30-pound kettlebell is now better for rows, is now better for chest presses if you can deal with it being on your arm, is now better for step-ups, is now better for kettlebell swings, kettlebell cleans, all sorts of things, okay? Gentlemen, if you have a 35-pound dumbbell, you might want a 45-pound kettlebell, a 50-pound kettlebell, something like that, where it's a little bit more significant. Because again, if you're able to row, let's say 40 pounds, you're going to be able to kettlebell swing 50, no problem. But now we have a decent kettlebell, we have a decent dumbbell, we have a mat, we have a step up, we're doing great. Other things that you guys can think to buy. Resistant bands. What's cool about resistant bands is a lot of times they come in like a 2-pack or a 3-pack where there are different intensities to these bands, and that can fill the gap for everything that one dumbbell or that one kettlebell cannot fill. And the reason I'm saying that is a lot of times there's a light, a medium, and a heavy duty band that comes with it. Heavy duty is pretty subjective when they say it's heavy duty. To me, it's still a light band because it's like a 20-pound band. But anyway, now we have really light weights for, overhead raises or shoulder raises or lateral flies, or a very lightweight if we're doing a lot of like squat jumps or something like that. Some of the heavier duty bands, we can put a loop in them, stand on them on either side of the handles, and we can get some heavy rows going. We can wrap the bands around our shoulders and do push-ups with them to make them a little bit harder. Bands can be so nice for your home. And again, we're talking, spend $100, okay? That's, for some of you, it's 1 month of membership, $100, get a few items at home, and it can really enhance your workouts, okay? We still can use chairs. Oh, before I forget, one more thing. I can't believe I almost forgot this. If you have a few extra dollars, buy a stability ball. Now, there are cheap ones and there are nice ones. If you've ever seen a video with mine, my stability ball is 10 years old. And it's still awesome. Once in a while it gets a little deflated and I need to put air in it, but come on, it's a ball with air in it. It's going to leak once in a while, okay? But this ball has a certain plastic to it. It's called anti-burst, okay? You need an anti-burst ball. Now what that means is if a hole gets into it, it's not just going to explode like a water balloon. It's going to seep, okay? It's going to slowly deflate, because you'd hate to be lying on your back, 30-pound dumbbells in your hands, and that ball decides to burst on you, and you fall to the ground, and the dumbbells come crashing down on you. So, my ball is a little bit more expensive if you're really interested in which ball I have, because it's like almost a vinyl type plastic. I mean, this thing's indestructible. I've done like one arm, plank with rows with 50s, and this thing will take a beating. You guys don't need to spend $60 or whatever I spent on it, but $5 stability balls are not that great. Okay, I don't care what they say on the box, but it's not that great. Get a stability ball. Now, ladies, you're going to want, depending upon how big you are. So if you're, 5'3", you probably only need a 45 centimeter ball. I still recommend a 55 for you. A 55 centimeter ball puts your legs up higher for like leg curls, tuck-ins, all sorts of things that we can do with your lower body that we can't do without other equipment. The stability ball is great for that. So get a 55 centimeter. Gentlemen, at least get a 55 centimeter. They do make 65 centimeter balls. Mine personally is a 65 centimeter ball, and I prefer that because there's a little more substance to it. There's a little bit more space to it. My arms touch the floor on 55 centimeter balls, so I like having a little bit higher of a ball. But a mat, a little bit of a step up, which you could get away with. You don't necessarily have to have it. I just would recommend it. So let's just take that off the list then. For sure, you need a mat, you need a dumbbell, maybe a kettlebell. Resistance bands are kind of up to you, and a stability ball. Mat, dumbbell, stability ball. I'll see you next time.